yoga instructor accused of driving her twin sister off a cliff.
A crumbled SUV, one sister dead, another accused of killing her.
For the first time,
I want to tell your story one time, so you don't ever have to speak about it again.
the twin behind the wheel speaks out.
I haven't shared anything before.
Had you been drinking at all when you got in the car? Tell me what happened the day of the crash.
A Dr. Phil expose.
You want to know what I think? You and your sister had a very volatile relationship. I think you got into an argument. She was grabbing your hair, and all of a sudden, you're falling 200 feet. That is what happened, isn't it? It's the headline-grabbing story of beautiful, blonde, identical twins and the shocking crash that left one of them dead at the bottom of a Hawaiian cliff and the other on trial for murder. Twin sisters Alexandria and Anastasia Duvall were as well known for their endless troubles as they were for their dynamic personalities, wildly popular yoga studios, and their matching Porsches. Dubbed by the tabloids as the terrible twins of yoga, the sisters made national news when they plunged off a 200-foot cliff after a heated and violent argument in Hawaii.
Maui police are still looking into what caused this SUV to crash down a cliff off Hana Highway. The passenger, a 37-year-old woman from Haiku, was killed, while the driver, also a 37-year-old woman, was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Lawrence Loud saw the two women fighting in their car just before driving off the cliff.
And I saw a pair of hands jerking the head, pulling her hair. She looked like a howling lady with kind of a blonde, brownish hair. And there were hands pulling her head down like this, and her head was jerking.
Records say investigators found that there were no attempts of braking at the scene.
Did 37-year-old yoga expert Alexandria Duvall intentionally drive her beautiful identical twin sister off a 200-foot cliff?
She's getting out of Dodge. Our cameras were there as Alexandria Duvall checked in for her flight out of Maui. Her arms still in a cast, broken in the plunge off a 200-foot cliff that left her twin sister dead. And here she is 5 hours later, touching down in Los Angeles. Next stop, her hometown of Utica, New York, where her sister Anastasia will be buried.
Alexandria and Anastasia Duvall were known to do everything together, including running yoga studios in Palm Beach County. In 2014, the duo shut down their businesses without paying their employees and without reimbursing their clients.
Duvall was arrested after she was tracked down in New York. Police in Hawaii say Alexandria Duvall intentionally drove her SUV off of a 200-foot cliff, killing her twin sister Anastasia.
Alexandria has always insisted the crash was a tragic accident, and the judge who heard the evidence agreed.
I find that the state has not proven beyond a reasonable doubt the charge of murder in the second degree.
Not guilty. That's the verdict today in the trial of the woman accused of killing her twin sister on Maui.
Alexandria Duvall looked relieved after her acquittal. Then she put on shades and strode out of the courtroom to congratulations from well-wishers.
Alexandria Duvall herself has never spoken and says the truth about her sister, and what happened that day has never been told. She is speaking out today for the very first time in an exclusive interview. However, what Alexandria initially claimed she wanted to do, which was a straightforward interview, turned into something else altogether. The woman who showed up was broken, wild with grief, and seemingly numbing her pain with substances, which prevented her from fully opening up.
Can we just shut this right now?
I respect that. I think you have an awful lot kind of stuffed inside. My hope was that by having a meaningful conversation with you, we could take a giant step forward, but I don't want to force you at all, so I'm going to let you go on your way. Alexandria insisted she wanted another chance to try to talk to me, coherently this time, and showed up the next day with a clear head and a desire to share her story once and for all.
I just wanted to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. I haven't shared anything before, like to the public or to anyone, so it was very emotional for me.
You'll not hear me say I know how you feel, because I don't know how you feel. This is not easy. I'm real sorry about your loss. I can't even imagine how devastating that must be to lose your sister like that.
Thank you.
Can I tell you my plan?
Sure.
My plan is I want to learn about you. I want to have you tell your story one time so you don't ever have to speak about it again. I want people to get to know you, so let's take a deep breath and talk. How's that?
That sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right. Now, there are three of you, right? You and your twin, and then there's another sister.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Amy?
Right.
And how much older is she?
2 years.
Were you close with her?
We were close growing up, but our mother did pass away when we were 5.
Yeah.
So that was obviously the start off of our relationship with myself, and I'd say all 3 of us collectively together, where we kind of like came together more as sisters, because we experienced that bit of pain, well, huge amount of grief. So we developed compassion.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you some things that have been in the media. People that have written about you said you and your sister were regarded as kind of very flashy style icons in high school.
We love that in terms of
Yeah,
that
it was very
expression.
complimentary, actually. Did you stick to yourselves mostly during high school, or were you with other people a lot?
No, not at all. We had a lot of friends. We were captain cheerleaders and ran track and cross country. We were always active in doing things.
Yeah.
I just think that our relationship, we had so much love for each other because of what we experienced together at such a tender age of 5.
I grew up with 3 sisters, and they really loved each other, and the pendulum would swing. When they got into arguments, they loved hard and they fought hard. Were you that way with your sister?
Not really, we weren't. We had such a tight relationship, even with like business and even the stress that goes on with that. I mean, it wouldn't be like a fight where it would just be something that we would just get through, whatever that would be. And it would be very rare for it ever to be prolonged more than, I mean, even for a full day would almost be impossible.
So you guys opened up a really successful business in Florida. It was the Twin Power Yoga Studio. And that went really well, right?
Everything that we did completely, in the worst economy, the worst time, but we put our heart and our soul into it. Everything that we did, we created it. So those first few years, it was a studio of love. We worked every day, 7 days a week, and then we ventured on from that.
You opened a second location in West Palm Beach, and you had a boutique, and you kind of became celebrities locally down there.
I mean, I guess so. We had some really great people that they would come into this place, and what they would want is just to be around an accepting, healing energy.
One of your clients said that you guys were highly visible, magnetic, you were trailblazers, you were really beloved, and one lady said that you actually saved her life just by the things that you taught and did, and that you guys really had a major impact on people's lives.
Yeah, we did.
And they say the media loved you guys because you were blonde, beautiful, successful, magnetic, drove matching Porsches, just were kind of the darlings, and that was kind of charismatic for everybody.
I guess because we were passionate about what we did.
The tabloids started referring to you as the terrible twins of yoga. Where did that come from?
Coming up.
They showed up here and started drawing attention to themselves right away. We had an arrest on one of them for DUI and a resisting arrest from the other one.
There are police reports that say you were kicked out of a Utah restaurant for drinking, fighting, and threatening the owner that you would have the mafia killing.
And later,
the crime scene investigation said your sister had a clump of your hair in her hand. I mean, how did she have a clump of your hair in her hand?
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her, you can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
Hey there.
Go! He got a hologram of himself just to give him compliments.
You handled the decision to go to Miami perfectly.
Nah.
On January 13th.
How about we throw the party here in the King's house?
Are you not entertained?
The only thing better than the game.
Got it, bro.
Is the after party.
You good? We got a big problem. Was it the Miami ring? Because y'all know he didn't deserve that.
House Party. Rated R. January 13th.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest-to-goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming. They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait. Welcome.
We're going to be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your
The
ass.
sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. And own them.
And again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Are you ready to tailgate?
Two teams of culinary warriors battle on an NFL team's home turf. Who will be the beast of the feast? Oh my God! Series kickoff, NFL Tailgate Takedown, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network. Set your DVR.
1,000-pound Best Friends returns.
The four of us have a different perspective of the world than thinner people.
Have you been following the program like you're supposed to?
You have to lose weight or you're gonna die. I'm done.
1,000-pound Best Friends, Wednesday at 10 on TLC.
This is Mary Ann's first time visiting Paris.
Madame, où allez-vous?
Before Mary Ann packed her bags, before she attempted her first sentence in French, before she completed her first 15-minute lesson,
Yes.
she downloaded Babbel. Babbel helped unlock her lifelong dream of learning French. She started speaking in just 3 weeks. So when it came time to tell the cab driver to take her to the Hotel Pierre,
J'aimerais aller à l'Hôtel Pierre.
Oh, c'est très bien. J'espère que votre voyage s'est bien passé.
150 language experts and educators designed Babbel to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language. Babbel focuses on natural conversation. You'll remember what you learn, and you can speak and pronounce with confidence. Start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. Try it for free at Babbel.com.
Why me, huh?
Why not you?
Listen to the thunder.
We have to get over here now. They've been shocking me.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men. I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the men at?
Here we go. It just got real.
Turn it up now.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
The mountains of Park City, a welcome sight for residents.
Also a place two sisters from Florida looking for a fresh start chose to call home.
They showed up here and started drawing attention to themselves right away.
They opened their yoga studio for business back in February of 2014. Soon after, police started getting complaints from customers.
When they were concerned because they were never there or it was never open.
The sisters, seen here in a YouTube video, didn't just have problems with customers.
We had an arrest on one of them for DUI and a resisting arrest from the other one.
In July of last year, they let their business license lapse and left town.
The tabloids started referring to you as the terrible twins of yoga. Where did that come from?
The terrible yoga or whatever that was, that had to do with, we were managing the two studios and we were moving to Utah to open up another studio. But then there was a couple little like financial things where it just got really expensive to run the whole studio with us not being there. So I think there was one negative thing was said on a Facebook remark, and that just brought the first social media of negativity, which really pretty much like destroyed our spirit and our heart.
So you both wound up taking bankruptcy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because it was basically like the little bit of like debt that we had, but nobody ever didn't get paid. From all the years that I wrote checks, it was that one time that was late.
The media had said that when you guys left, you left people without paying them and left members without refunds.
Not true.
You went to Utah and you opened a place there. It seemed like things changed when you got to Utah because you guys get arrested several times, and there are police reports that say you were kicked out of a Utah restaurant for drinking, fighting, and threatening the owner that you would have the mafia kill him. That's what's in the police report.
Well, a lot of weird things happened in Utah. That's when we were starting to be followed. The tabloidy type people.
But you did get arrested.
Yeah.
And they said that, according to the police, that you fought with each other and your car crashed and there was hair pulling involved. What happened?
I don't know. When they said the hair pulling, I don't know.
It said the twins refused to admit they had been drinking. They allegedly reeked of alcohol and were stumbling around, and they were crying, screaming, and out of control, and they were both charged with public intoxication and disorderly conduct.
I don't think that's true. I mean, that's not.
Well, I mean, it may not be true, but it's true. That's what the police report said. You don't remember anything about that?
I actually don't. I don't.
You moved to Hawaii in December of that year, right? 2015?
November.
Why Hawaii?
Because it's a place that we've been before in our life, and we just thought it was a very spiritual, beautiful place.
And then on Christmas Eve of 2015, you guys were cited for disorderly conduct, and you failed to appear in court, so there was a bench warrant issued for your arrest.
That was because we were talking, when I spoke with the gentleman, he just said that when we were having a conversation, we were talking too loud, and so that's what it was. At some point, you changed your names. You and your twin were born Allison and Ann Dowdell. When did you change your names? Florida, Utah, or Hawaii? Utah. And it wasn't trying to hide or anything like that. It was, we were working on publishing some books. We had some harassment, quite a bit of harassment when we were in Utah from strangers, basically, from Florida. But then for that, like that security, that's when we changed our name. Nothing was trying to be like hidden or...
Were you broke when you got to Hawaii?
We were working. So I had some money saved from that, like kind of that reboot there, but we were working on like this hat company and then some other things that we were pulling together.
One of the reports said that your sister showed up at a homeless shelter in Hawaii. Did that happen?
I don't think so. I mean, a homeless shelter that...
It was very specific. It said she had the craziest story about arriving in Hawaii a few days ago and getting robbed of her wallet and getting separated from her twin sister. Was she robbed?
Well, we were both robbed. Our licenses were stolen and our passports and money, yeah.
She said that this worker there said she gave us a fake name at first and claimed she had no ID, no money, and that she threw a tantrum demanding money, and employees tried to help her reconnect with her sister without success, and she vanished, leaving her bags behind.
I don't believe that's...
You don't think that happened?
No.
So, did you have a boyfriend in Hawaii?
No.
But you had a friend because you were driving a friend's car the day of the crash, correct?
The three of us, we had lived together and we were helping each other out. It's like more of like a cousin, friend.
Well, so what did happen the day of the crash?
Coming up.
Witnesses said that when the car went by, it was in the middle of the road, and that the two of you were yelling and screaming, and that she was pulling your hair.
You could tell that she was, very violently swearing at somebody else in the car. So she floored it and was in a rage as she sped past them.
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming. They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island for peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your
The
ass.
sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own them.
Again and again and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest to goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
Next on Behind the Series.
Let me tell you about the greatest roster ever assembled.
The monster, the outlaw, and you can't forget about the boss. It wasn't just a roster, it was a menu.
The Subway Series, the greatest menu of all time.
So far, I've raised my credit score 39 points.
127 points.
Over 100 points using Self.
I would recommend Self to everyone.
It feels really good. You should try it.
If you're like me, you're sick of underwires. Well, Knix makes wireless bras that you will love. They're supportive, they're comfortable, and they fit up to an H cup.
Join the millions of women who have switched to a wireless bra. Find yours at Knix.com.
Does your bank invest for you? I bet it doesn't. Acorn's checking does. It's banking for the growth-minded. Acorns. Grow your own.
Why me, huh?
Why not you?
Listen to the thunder.
Thousand-Pound Best Friends returns.
The four of us have a different perspective of the world than thinner people.
Have you been following the program like you're supposed to?
You have to lose weight or you're gonna die. I'm done.
Thousand-Pound Best Friends, Wednesday at 10 on TLC.
Damn, he's gorgeous.
My girlfriend has a girlfriend.
Have you been seeing other people?
No matter what happens to somebody who's gonna end up being heartbroken.
90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Monday at 8 on TLC.
You need to get over him now. They just shot me.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
A crumbled SUV at the bottom of a Hawaii cliff. One sister dead, another accused of killing her. Police say this was the end of the road for twins who committed crimes all over the country.
Witnesses saw the 37-year-old women known now as Alexandria and Anastasia Duvall stopped in the middle of the Hana Highway in Maui.
You could tell that she was, very violently swearing at somebody else in the car. So she floored it and was in a rage as she sped past them.
And the passenger died instantly.
Tell me what happened the day of the crash.
It's really hard for me to put it completely together. But I do remember my sister and I, we were driving around and there was just this young girl, and we pulled over and we actually picked her up, and she was a twin, an identical twin, and she was actually from Syracuse. That's the one thing that I completely remember. And we were like laughing, we were just talking about just life and how much we care about each other.
Where were you going from and to?
We were camping, and then we were passing this one area, and we were just taking a little leisure drive.
You'd picked this girl up, but you'd already let her out.
Yeah, we dropped her off at wherever the farm place was.
And what road are you on?
It would have to be Hana Road. I wasn't that familiar with the roads.
This is on the side of a mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a straight road, it's a winding road?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that when the car went over, it wasn't a wall, it was like a dirt berm. I still feel there's so much to this feeling that I'm did that really happen?
So on the left, you say there's not a guardrail, there's just a berm. Mm-hmm. Just dirt piled up. So what's happening inside the car at the time?
We were just talking. We were just having a conversation. I know that the day before that, the tire went out. We were up in where Hana was, and there was this gentleman, so he switched the tire for us. So we were driving on that donut. It was a little rainy, but the whole thing was a tragic, horrible, awful situation. And then some people had thought that we had knowledge of that one little part of the one little road where there was no road. It was just natural erosion.
Who is this Frederico Bailey?
He was somebody that we knew for about 30 days.
Well, according to this Frederico Bailey, he said that he and Anastasia were going to go camping and that you had come along and that there was a fight between you and your sister.
They were punching each other and slapping at each other and hitting each other in the first seat. I was in the back seat of the car at the time.
And that you guys left the campground without him, but that you came back. He said that he was upset because he realized that you guys had purchased alcohol, and that when you were not drinking, that you were the nicest, sweetest people ever, but that when alcohol was involved, you turned into completely different people. I'm just telling you what he said.
There's so much that he said, to be honest, that for 30 days of knowing of him, I don't even know.
Had you been drinking at all when you got in the car?
No.
When you guys are driving, when you actually leave the road, where were you headed?
We were headed back to Haiku.
The witnesses said that when the car went by, it was in the middle of the road, and that the two of you were yelling and screaming, and that she was pulling your hair.
There was a lot of different things that were said, especially from the beginning and then to the trial, that were totally different.
The crime scene investigation said your sister had a clump of your hair in her hand. I mean, how did she have a clump of your hair in her hand?
Coming up.
You're in the car, you're driving along the highway. Take me through the moment that you realized we're going over the side. Closed captioning provided by...
I
can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
Hey there.
Go! He got a hologram of himself just to give him compliments.
You handled the decision to go to Miami perfectly.
Nah.
On January 13th.
How about we throw the party here in the King's house?
Are you not entertained?
The only thing better than the game.
Got it, bro.
Is the after party.
You good? We got a big problem. Was it the Miami ring? Because y'all know he didn't deserve that.
House Party. Rated R. January 13th.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait. Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your ass.
The sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Didn't own that. And again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest to goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
Why me, huh?
Why not you?
Listen to the thunder.
You need to get over him now. Say this shot for me.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men. I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the men at?
Here we go. It just got real.
Turn it up now.
1,000-Pound Best Friends returns.
The four of us have a different perspective of the world than thinner people.
Have you been following the program like you're supposed to?
You have to lose weight or you're gonna die. I'm done.
1,000-Pound Best Friends, Wednesday at 10 on TLC.
Are you ready to tailgate?
Two teams of culinary warriors battle on an NFL team's home turf. Who will be the beast of the feast?
Oh my God!
Series kickoff, NFL Tailgate Takedown, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network. Set your DVR.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
She had long, yellowish brown hair that was kind of curly, and we could see arms pulling her hair, and her head was yanking and jerking like this.
Lawrence Lau, who was chaperoning a Boy Scout troop, said that he sees the white SUV in the middle of the highway, and you could tell that the driver was very violently swearing at somebody else in the car. So she floored it and was in a rage as she sped past us. Then the judge said, the crime scene investigation said, your sister had a clump of your hair in her hand. I mean, how did she have a clump of your hair in her hand?
I don't know. That's the most traumatic thing that I don't. Did she pull my hair? I can't say that everything.
I think this is really important to get this behind you so it's not rattling around in your mind. You're in the car, you're driving along the highway. Take me through the moment that you realized we're going over the side.
I played it so many times in my mind. I've tried to, at least. I don't know. having that wheel go out, hitting the dirt berm, going over, I don't know if I could actually like really just like process that right now. What happened that day, an accident happened. I don't know why I'm here, that I survived. Do we go off a cliff, a berm, 250 feet? Apparently, yeah. Airlifted to rescue, safety.
Are you just not wanting to say anything negative about your sister? Are you just not wanting to say, yeah, she attacked me? Is that what this is about? You want to know what I think? I think you and your sister loved each other very, very much. I think you did lose your best friend, and I think you don't know what to do with that. I think you and your sister had at times a very volatile, animated relationship where you had wild and yelling, screaming fights that would be over as quick as they started. But I think that was part of your relationship, and you're denying that, I think, because you don't want to cast her in a negative light. I think the day this happened, I think you were having one of those arguments, but I think you both had been drinking. I think you were both under a lot of pressure because you'd been through Florida, then Utah, and then Hawaii, and trying to figure out how to get things going back. And you remember every detail about this hitchhiker. You remember every detail about everything up to, but not what happened leading up to this accident. I think you got into an argument and you were yelling and screaming, and she was yelling and screaming, and I think she grabbed a hold of your hair and yanked your head, and I think it caused you to lose control of that car, and it went over the side and damn near killed you both, and did kill her. I think you don't want to admit that because you think it's disloyal to her to say it.
Coming up.
According to court records, the two women were screaming and arguing with each other.
There was conflicting things on the data report. I don't know. There's so many different factors involved in that.
But you were either being attacked or you weren't. Closed captioning provided by...
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
Hey there.
Go! He got a hologram of himself just to give him compliments.
You handled the decision to go to Miami perfectly.
Nah.
On January 13th.
How about we throw the party here in the King's house?
Are you not entertained?
The only thing better than the game.
Got it, bro.
Is the after party.
You good? We got a big problem. Was it the Miami ring? Because y'all know he didn't deserve that.
House Party, rated R, January 13th.
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're going to be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your
The
ass.
sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own that.
And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
This is Marianne's first time visiting Paris.
Madame, où allez-vous?
Before Marianne packed her bags, before she attempted her first sentence in French, before she completed her first 15-minute lesson,
Yes.
she downloaded Babbel. Babbel helped unlock her lifelong dream of learning French. She started speaking in just 3 weeks. So when it came time to tell the cab driver to take her to the Hotel Pierre,
J'aimerais aller à l'Hôtel Pierre.
Oh, c'est très bien. J'espère que votre voyage s'est bien passé.
150 language experts and educators designed Babbel to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language. Babbel focuses on natural conversation. You'll remember what you learn, and you can speak and pronounce with confidence. Start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. Try it for free at Babbel.com.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest-to-goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her, you can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
You need to get over him now. They just shot me.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
A Maui woman is accused of killing her twin sister in a crash that sent their vehicle 200 feet down a cliff.
According to court records, the two women were screaming and arguing with each other, and the passenger was pulling the driver's hair.
My first thought when she was coming past us, I said, don't hit me, because she was slightly out of control as she was doing that, 40 miles an hour.
And investigators believe she did it on purpose.
The road was bending to the right, and the wheel was turned to the left. That's a fact. How did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, there was conflicting things on the data report. I don't know. There's so many different factors involved in this.
But you were either being attacked or you weren't. Were you drinking so you don't remember?
No. Did she pull my hair? I can't say that everything.
Here's what I know from a psychological standpoint and reconstructing things. It's clear to me you weren't just driving down the road and thought, I'm just going to kill us and drive off the side of the road. I think you could get angry like anybody, but getting angry and driving off a 200-foot cliff are two very different things. Being intoxicated or being under attack, somebody attacking you and losing control of the car, that I can believe. But I'm not hearing any explanation that explains why that car went over the side.
What I'm saying is I don't, the part of the healing for me with the relationship with my sister and my best friend is I want to go back and remember and to share the story of not just about that one day, but again, what does that change in my life? What does that change about losing a best friend? What does it change about just that? Like, does that change anything?
But you were fighting.
We were talking loud, I mean.
And she was pulling your hair.
She might have been. Is that going to bring her back?
No, but it's going to put it on the table so you can forgive her and stop trying to hide and cover up something. The judge made it very clear. He said you're not guilty, and he said why.
After looking at the data, taking into account everybody that's testified here, has not proven beyond a reasonable doubt the charge of murder in the second degree against the defendant.
Somebody pulled a clump of hair out, you were under attack, and you can't hold somebody responsible for operating a motor vehicle when they're under attack. You could love her till the end of the earth and still be mad at her in the moment, but that doesn't mean you would wish her ill. You guys get in an argument and you're yelling and screaming and pulling your hair. Doesn't mean she wanted anything bad to happen to you. She certainly didn't want to hurt you. She didn't want to end her own life. This was an accident. It was an accident. Should you have been drinking at all? No. Should you have been fighting in the car? No. But people are human beings. There was no bad intent here. It's not being disloyal to her to say what happened. It's just sisters arguing. The judge was right. This was an accident. You didn't do this on purpose. That wheel didn't break, and you didn't steer off the mountain on purpose. She jerked you, and you reacted, and maybe if there'd been a guardrail there, we wouldn't be here. But there wasn't. And this is a burden you shouldn't have to carry. It's like they charged you, but you're covering for her. If she had lived, she shouldn't be charged either. There was no intent here. I want you to let her go. Don't feel that you're betraying her. I mean, let her go. Give her the freedom of forgiving her and not feeling like, you know, the real culprit here they haven't found yet, and I don't want them to.
And that's part of like the healing and moving on.
Exactly.
This has been every step of the way, the most terrifying, horrific, unbelievable. And although 8 months ago they said not guilty, I haven't even spoken in those 8 months or felt even like there's no victory there. And
you certainly haven't felt vindicated, right? Because you went through all of this and been accused.
I don't know if I felt vindicated. Each step, I just went through it each step with like sheer and utter, I don't know, horror's a great word. I mean, for months and months and for years and years, all I've done is cry and be in that point of like such horror.
Do you wish you had died with her?
Coming up.
The truth will set you free, and it begins with the truth. Is that what happened on the highway?
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait. Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your
The
ass.
sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own that.
And again. Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
All these young, untimely deaths.
For your kid, fame can be poisonous.
He shared with me something. I would hesitate to even say it.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules.
You have no idea what loss is.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest-to-goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
Sunday, it's the tell-all finale.
So are you separated?
Woody and I have separated, and I'm happy.
Can't you fix it?
The Sister Wives tell-all finale, Sunday at 10 on TLC.
I feel wrong.
You want me to be on your side?
Why do you keep coming back?
Happily Ever After tell-all, No Limits, continues Sunday at 8 on TLC.
I'm going to become a monk.
You look like a happy Buddha.
Oh.
You get pregnant very easily.
This with one more. What were we thinking?
David and Annie and Lauren and Alexi, After the 90 Days, Monday at 10 on TLC.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men.
I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the minutes?
Here we go. It just got real.
Turn it up now.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
Do you wish you had died with her?
I don't even know if I can answer that, because then that could mean something completely different. It means that I would actually not want to be living, and I do want to live.
You know, I'm very compassionate about what you've been through. And I want to take some of that burden off of you, because I don't think you have bad intent. You know, it's like if somebody runs over your foot by accident, that's different than if somebody purposely runs over and smashes your foot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course that's a different level. Your sister did not intend to cause a crash. She did not intend to put your life in jeopardy or end her own. And to feel like you have to hide that or cover that up or fail to acknowledge that is to say that she did something on purpose. I don't know your sister, but everything I can tell about her, she would never, ever intend to harm you in a meaningful or permanent way. So I have to believe that the reason she had a clump of your hair in her hand is because she was grabbing your hair and yanking it, and then all of a sudden it got worse than she meant it to be. The truth will set you free, and it begins with the truth. Is that what happened on the highway?
It's part of what I do remember.
And I do believe that. I do not believe that you have a molecular memory of everything that happened. But I do believe that you know damn well you were under attack at that point. You guys were fighting and you were under attack.
I mean, it's part of what I do recall.
When you woke up at the bottom of the ravine, what do you recall?
I don't remember. I mean, I just remember being like airlifted.
Did you know she was dead?
Mm-mm.
When did you learn that?
Way after.
When you were in the hospital?
Yeah.
Your sister didn't have a bad intent, not 1% in her body. She did not mean you ill will. She did not mean herself ill will. There's nothing to be ashamed of for her, and you've already forgiven her. You don't harbor any ill will against her, right? If you could speak to her right now, what would you say to her?
Coming up.
You've been coping with this by self-medicating. It numbs the pain. I mean, it kind of lets you check out some, right? Closed captioning provided by
You need to get over here now. They've been chopping me.
1,000-pound best friends returns.
The four of us have a different perspective of the world than thinner people.
Have you been following the program like you're supposed to?
You have to lose weight or you're gonna die. I'm done.
1,000-pound best friends, Wednesday at 10 on TLC.
Damn, he's gorgeous.
My girlfriend has a girlfriend.
Have you been seeing other people?
No matter what happens to somebody, is gonna end up being heartbroken.
90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Monday at 8 on TLC.
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your
The
ass.
sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own that.
And again, and again, and again. Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Something about the Playboy brand had a little bit more of a mystique to it.
It's a ticket to the highlight.
Nothing can prepare you for.
The Playboy Murders, all new series, Monday, January 23rd at 10 on ID.
Are you ready to tailgate?
Two teams of culinary warriors battle on an NFL team's home turf. Who will be the beast of the feast? Oh my God! Series kickoff, NFL Tailgate Takedown, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network. Set your DVR.
Why me, huh?
Why not you?
Listen to the thunder.
I can't believe we're cleaning LeBron's house.
Hey there.
Go! He got a hologram of himself just to give him compliments.
You handled the decision to go to Miami perfectly.
Nah.
On January 13th.
How about we throw the party here in the King's house?
The only thing better than the game.
Got it, bro.
Is the after party.
You good? We got a big problem. Was it the Miami ring? Because y'all know he didn't deserve that.
House Party. Rated R. January 13th.
All these young, untimely deaths.
For your kid, fame can be poisonous.
He shared with me something, how I hesitate to even say it.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
I've decided to go to rehab. I'm still here, bitches.
We got a big surprise. Gage is gonna be a big brother.
1,000 Pound Sisters, season premiere, January 17th at 9 on TLC.
There is nothing hotter than real, honest-to-goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get with it or get lost.
You dropped the ball big time.
I'm throwing y'all my very own Miami yacht party.
It just shook up all of the dynamics.
Y'all ready for this?
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You've come this far, then you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
If you could speak to her right now, what would you say to her?
I would tell her that I love her, and I would tell her that, like, I can't believe you left me, and, like, stand by me. I'm gonna get through this, and I'm going to go back to transform all of this darkness into a period and a place of passion and sharing with others, just like the beauty of the original, what we built together. Most of the time, I still feel like she's like right next to me.
That's great, by the way. But you've been through so much, and how have you been coping with it?
Just from a lot of, I would say, feeling of like uneasiness. I don't know, still like a little bit of like denial, but having a strong yearning that I want to move forward.
You've been coping with this by self-medicating. It numbs the pain. I mean, it kind of lets you check out some, right?
It's not in my best interest.
That's been your coping mechanism from what I can see, and you're going to continue to do that if you don't get some alternative coping mechanisms. You are going through all of this stress and anxiety. You're in a state of hyper-arousal because you've been in this fight or flight mode. We've got to get you back in control. This depression, this anxiety, all of this has to be dealt with. And I want to provide that for you. I want you to call time out and say, I got to take care of myself here. I want to provide that for you.
I really want that. I wanted that ability to have that resource to take care of myself. Like everything inside of me has been like screaming that for a really long time.
Yeah, I'm going to set that up for you. And the place that I have in mind is a place called Hannah's House. And it's women only. and it's a dual diagnosis treatment center, and it's very customized, it's very individualized, and it's a really beautiful setting. And it's part of Origin's behavioral health care. You ready to start that? Mm-hmm. All right, good. I'll leave you with this thought. Don't think you got to cover for your sister. She didn't do anything wrong. You girls are fine. And keep her right there. Fair enough? Okay. Now, I hope that with both intense grief counseling and help with the fact that she is using substances to cope, Alexandria will be able to live the life she knows her twin sister would want her to, and really live a life that's going to have to be for both of them at this point. Thanks for watching.
Everybody has some secrets. Everybody has a past. Don't wanna be caught up on seeking how you work, 'cause all I care about is how you feel about me now. Ain't got time to play around. Just tell me what to do. Tell me how you feel. I don't wanna see no filter. Please don't waste my time. I've been way more than familiar with those type of guys that don't know what they want, falling back to square one. I've been wondering, is it really that hard just to follow your heart? Nothing's guaranteed, but I still want some certainty. I wanna believe in a future for you. Maybe nothing's guaranteed, but I still want some certainty. I wanna believe in a future for you, maybe. It's hard enough to trust somebody, hard enough to trust yourself. Might be better safe than sorry. Are you seeing someone else? I'm asking 'cause my heart is still healing from the previous toxic thing. Now could you be my cure, or will I be ignored? I don't wanna see no filter. Please don't waste my time. I've been way more than familiar with those type of guys that don't know what they want, falling back to square one. Is it really that hard just to follow your heart? Nothing's guaranteed, but I still